Two girls, one podcast, and their unsolicited opinions.
Plug in your headphones or find a private space because this content is not safe for work.
Welcome to On Her Bookshelf.
Welcome back, Bookshelf Besties. My name is Julia.
And I'm Christy.
And this week, we are actually going to be talking about Ali Hazelwood's new audiobook, Two Can Play. I feel like we need like a little jingle or something to come in there. No, don't start singing Elmo's World. That's exactly what that tune was. They will 100% come after us for copyright. We do not have that kind of money.
We don't. Okay, take that back.
Anyways, before we dive into today's episode, we actually wanted to do something a little bit different and do like a quick catch up on the books that we are currently reading. Mm-hmm. Chrissy, did you want to go first?
I have a few on the go.
Yeah, so do I. I currently have an audiobook, an ebook, and a physical paperback book.
Who are you?
I know. It's wild. It's full consumption of story mode right now.
I don't even recognize you right now. Oh my god.
Stop.
Did an alien overtake you? What's going on? So I'm currently listening to Still Beating by Jennifer Hartman, and I'm literally on the epilogue. This book is, we're doing an episode on this. Okay?
Yeah.
It is.
Still Beating, it's definitely been like a book that I've seen like, I guess, go through like book talk and everything like that, but I've kind of been like uncertain on it, on whether or not I wanted to dive in, but seeing your reactions to it, and we work together, and every now and then, like, we do slip in, like, our headphones to listen to, like, our audiobooks, and just her reactions on the desk behind me, oh my god. That alone is, like, convincing enough that I want to read this.
It's been a time. I'm very depressed. But like, disclaimer, guys, everything for this month, I'm only reading, like, fucked up shit. I'm not reading light and fluffy. I'm on the dark romance, horror erotica train.
Okay, so for anybody who isn't listening to this as soon as it gets published, we're currently recording within the month of October.
It's Halloween. Spooky season. I'm also listening to the third book in the Vicious Lost Boy series by Nikki St. Crow. This is my second reread. But last time I ended at book 3, so I'm rereading it again so I can go into book 4, and I'm living for it.
Amazing.
Book-wise, I am about to start Brat for Prince by TJ Maguire, book 2. And then I'm also reading Wanna Play a Game by Alina May.
Ooh, is that like another horror?
Yeah, it's a horror erotica, stalker, kidnapping, masked men, chase her through the woods, fucked up shit.
Yeah, okay, cool.
It's
October.
Yeah.
What can we say?
Yeah.
Okay, so for me, I am currently listening to Entangled by Rebecca Quinn. It is, I think, my third read through of book 1 of her Brutes of Bristlebrook. I can never say that.
We're not cutting that.
Brutes of Bristlebrook series. Mainly because book 3 is going to be out soon. We're both on the ARC team. We've done episodes for the previous book 1 and book 2 in the series. And yeah, I just wanted to do the audiobooks this time around to kind of help me, I guess, do a reread before the next one comes out. I'm so familiar with these stories, but I needed to like do this again.
I get it.
It's one of those stories that they deserve like a reread. Mm-hmm. On my ebook, I am currently reading an arc for GM Fairy, which is The Crimson Wolf. You've already finished it. I was a little bit slower picking it up. I've been in a bit of like an actual physical reading slump for a little bit, but we're getting traction again. And I'm not like that deep into the story, but I'm already kind of like enjoying it. And it's not our first like GM Fairy book that we've read before either. And I think it's going to be safe to say Crimson Wolf is probably going to be a podcast episode in the future. Yeah. Safe. And like you, I'm also reading the Breakfast series at the moment by TJ Maguire. I'm only on book 1 though still, which I technically should have finished last month. But like I said, reading slump, it's all okay. So yeah, Bradford Bride, that one's called. And it's actually technically the first time I've ever read a mafia book. I know, I am not... Also, sidebar, I am not counting Nevessa Allen's Lights Out as a mafia. Sorry, but
It's
no.
not a mafia.
This one, however, heavy on the mafia, and I'm so here for it. Like, it's hooked me in. I'm well and truly like deep into the story, and obviously it's called Bradford Bride, so I'm sure we kind of know what tropes we're going to be experiencing as well in this story. And yes, please.
I am so shocked you've never read Mafia before.
No, it's never really appealed to me. There was like this other audiobook that I listened to, which was like Motorcycle Club, Mafia, but it was terrible.
I remember that one.
And it was only like novella length. And again, I don't include it as like an actual proper mafia story.
This is your first good Mafia book.
My first good mafia book, and actually like within the lifestyle, not just, oh, there's a mafia.
This is like just Mafia.
Yeah.
I'm so happy for you. TJ's popping. No, I'm not saying that. Your virginity.
I thought you were just going to shoot straight with Cherry.
I was.
You went straight to virginity.
She's taking your mafia romance.
Cherry.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, what a way to start.
Thanks. Should we get into the episode now?
Yeah, baby. Yeah.
Anyways, back on topic.
Mm-hmm.
Ali Hazelwood. So you actually haven't listened to Two Can Play yet. I just finished it this week. And I've actually been really looking forward to the release of Two Can Play because it's been advertised as a Spotify exclusive audiobook. So it's only like four and a bit hours long. So really quick to actually listen to. Literally like a novella length story. But there's no physical book for it yet. I know.
It's really sad.
It's currently like contracted to be an audiobook only. But I have heard that when those contracts do run out, she does plan on releasing it as like a physical paper book, ebook, something you can actually read and hold. Yeah. So yeah, this is my third Ali Hazelwood of the year. So I think we can tell like she's quickly become, I guess, one of my favorite authors, or just like an author that I tend to navigate to.
Auto-buy.
Yeah. Especially for the nerds in love trope.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way that I can basically explain Ali Hazelwood stories. It's nerds in love.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
Cool.
I'm here for it.
So I guess when it comes to like any content warnings or trigger warnings, there really aren't any for this book. It is spicy. Like it does have like some spice to it.
No closed door.
It's not closed door. So like we've done an episode on Check and Mate before, which is like a YA romance that she's done. That one's closed door. We've obviously read Bride as well, which had knotting in it. But yeah, this one is definitely not closed door. Shut up. There was no like werewolf joke in there.
No.
So overall I gave it 3, a level 3 for spice, three
good.
chilies. It's not as like explicit as some of the things like I have read.
Not smart.
It's not smart. Like it's not designed to be smart. The book is literally a romance.
Yeah, it's romance with a bit of sex.
Exactly.
Nice.
And overall I did give the story 4 stars. So there was things that I liked about it. There was things that I didn't like about it. But I feel like the things that I didn't like about it, I've got issues with, I guess, the audiobook.
I was going to ask that. I was like, is it actually the plot or the story? Like the characters, or if it's how it was presented to
No, it was
you?
how it was presented to me that I have issues with.
Okay,
which is a little bit disappointing being like an audiobook exclusive on Spotify. But I will get into that in a minute. So let me talk to you about some of the tropes we experience.
Okay.
So, do you want tropes or do you want like a quick 30-second overview of what the book's about?
Can I have both?
Let's do an overview.
Yeah, do the 30 seconds.
Okay.
Can I time you?
panicking. Fuck, let me...
Okay.
Wait, what are their names again?
Good question. I haven't read it.
Okay, Jessie and Viola. I've got this.
Are you ready? Do you want to count down to the countdown? 3, 2,
Okay.
1.
All right, so basically the book follows Viola's perspective. She is a game designer, like game program designer. And I know, Nerds in Love. Anyways, her company that she works for recently got picked up to develop a book into a game, and it's a book that she really likes and has like close connections. Is there 9 seconds left? Oh my god, I can't do it in 30 seconds. Holy shit.
I love that. I love that one.
That's it.
Yeah.
That's all you need to know.
Cool, let's get into tropes. So I know a little bit of Viola.
Oh my god, that was awful.
It's hard, isn't it?
It's so
It's
difficult.
really hard. I feel like anytime we've done a 30-second overview,
It hasn't been
it
30
is not.
seconds.
It's probably been 2 minutes.
It's probably the first time we've ever recorded it. Wow, we are Delulu.
yes.
A little bit.
You totally just realised that.
Maybe.
Okay, give me tropes. Give me tropes.
Okay, so we have enemies to lovers, but it's kind of like a really like mild enemies to lovers, because we also get miscommunication trope.
Okay, so they're not enemies to lovers. It's more like dislike to lovers.
Yeah, that's why I'm saying like
Yeah.
it's mild, but
Yeah.
it kind of fits into like the enemies to lovers in a sense, but there's the miscommunication trope which plays into the reason why they don't get along initially.
Okay.
But I actually really enjoyed how the miscommunication trope was done, because I know
Okay.
that's not like everyone's favorite,
Mm.
but for this it worked, and I kind of had to have a little giggle over it.
Okay, yeah.
Workplace romance.
Mhm.
So something I didn't get to explain and was about to was Jesse, our main male character. He works for a different gaming company, and he's like the lead, I think, developer on his team, and she's like the lead developer on like her team.
Ooh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they've both of these companies have basically been assigned to work together to produce a book into a game, and she's got like really deep, meaningful connections to this book because it was one of like her dad's favorites, and her dad is now passed, but like it's a book she's read like on repeat since like childhood.
It's a Roman Empire.
Yeah, it's her Roman Empire, and she gets a chance to make it into a game, which is so cool.
Dude, that's sick.
Right? So we do get like a little bit of workplace romance, because even though they aren't in the same workplace, they have to go together like on this retreat with both companies and I guess show the developer that wants to make the game that they can all work together, because there's a lot of like bitterness between the two corporations because they're like rival corporations in the gaming and developing world.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
We do have a little bit of forced proximity because they send them all to a retreat,
Yeah.
and like
They run into each other.
they run into each other a lot. Like they're stuck at this literally snowy retreat kind of situation, and they get like snowed in at one stage too.
Stop. So one bed.
No,
Oh, missed opportunity, Ali.
but their rooms are like opposite hallways to one another,
Oh yeah, yep. Cool.
which didn't start out that way. But she very kindly offered to swap rooms with someone, and then ended up putting herself
Ooh.
opposite him. And from the very start of the book, she has been crushing on this guy for like years, and this is why like the miscommunication trope like hurts me a little bit too, because
They
like
could have just been together.
they could have just been together.
I fucking hate that.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah. So they,
more
I
tropes?
think they're like our main ones, like. Kind of like maybe rivals to lovers would be a better way to say, instead of like enemies.
Yeah. Okay.
Miscommunication, nerds in love. I'm so putting that there as like a trope. And forced proximity as well.
I'm about that. I'm
Yeah.
about that.
So yeah, I think a better summary of the plot
Yeah.
compared to like what you've just heard is that these two companies, they go to retreat together. It's basically to kind of figure out if they can work together to develop this game. If they can't, basically the developer's taken it elsewhere.
Oh shit. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's a lot like writing on it for Viola. I could never like pronounce her name
I
correct.
know, I suck with that
and
name.
even though like I heard it on repeat, it's just like, is it Violet? Is it meant to be Violet? And I'm like, no, they're definitely saying Viola. Anyways,
This is a whole like
a different
thing.
conversation.
Yeah.
So yeah, she's got a lot of like personal aspirations into wanting to get this game developed.
It hits really close to home.
But like overall, it's not a long story. Like the gist of the plot is they go to this retreat together. They kind of keep ending up in situations where her and Jessie, our main male character, keep bumping into one another. Like, you know, she wants to go read like the book privately in the library, and what do you know? He's there. She obviously swaps room with a friend of hers, you know, so that he can be close to one of like, I think the girls like he likes or is like sleeping with as well. Yeah. So in
It's a good karma bitter on the ass.
yeah, so she ends up changing rooms, and it's opposite Jessie's room. And like this whole time she's like, what have I done to like put this man in like continuously like in my line? Like he hates me, he doesn't like me at all. Because like over the last like few years, they kind of have been bumping into each other, like different conventions and stuff like that. Like it's the same industry. And at one stage they were at a engagement party together, and they both ended up under mistletoe, and I was like, this is it. This is where they're gonna kiss. It's gonna be romantic as fuck. Like you can tell by then like she's been pining after him for so long, and he's just like, nah, this isn't a good idea. Like
Jessie, man.
this isn't a good idea. And like
Fuck.
she overhears him later when someone's like, why didn't you just like kiss her on the cheek or something? And he's like, oh, I just don't want to get involved with her. Or like, it was
Is that the miscommunication?
so devastating. No, that's not even like the miscommunication. The miscommunication has started like before that. But then like one day during like their retreat, one of Viola's work colleagues approaches her and is just like, dude, Jessie just totally like roused on me. Like he was up in my face. He thought I was cheating on you. And Viola's like, what the fuck? And between these two people, it's been joked that, you know, they're work wife, work husband and whatnot. But he's actually seeing somebody else. He's seeing somebody else like in secret. And Jessie had caught them together. And so this whole time, like, because they go to conferences together as well, Jessie has, I think, believed that she's been in a relationship with somebody else when that isn't the case. But that isn't even like the worst of the miscommunication that's happened. So Viola's approached Jessie and just been like, no, you're wrong. I'm not in a relationship with this person. Like, they're actually seeing somebody else. You've got it completely wrong. And at the same time, she's like, why do you have such a problem with me? Like, trying to like get to the bottom of it. Like, is this why you have an issue with me? You think like I'm seeing somebody and whatnot. And Jessie goes on to explain that in their very first like meeting, like I think they went for like the same job interview or whatnot, he had asked her on a date to go get coffee. She didn't realize it was a date and turned him down. And also in like the same tangent was rambling on about the men in her industry being presumptuous towards her as like a woman. So he didn't think that she was interested in him in that way because of the industry that they work in. And he didn't want to like force, I guess, his feelings and emotions on her as a man. And it's been like 5 years of him just being an absolute like gentleman. And they've both like been pining after the entire time. They have like been crushing and liking one another. And that's why I'm like, oh my God, I love and I hate this miscommunication trope because it works. In the simplest way, it works. But I'm just like, they could have had 5 years, you know? But anyways, now they're snowed in at a ski resort together.
My emotions are like Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And we do get a scene after like all that's kind of like being cleared up where they're in like the hot tub together and the people they were in the hot tub with leave and she goes to like stand up but like falls over into his lap at one stage.
I'm like gripping. I'm like, tell me more.
Oh my God. It's like one of my... Okay, this must be like a micro trope that I just adore, but it's like that accidentally falls into his lap and figures out like the length that he's...
Yeah, that's a micro trope I cannot get behind.
Yes, please. And then, of course, we have like this snowed in weekend where everyone just decides not to do activities and they want to all sleep in. So she is like knocking on his door at like 3 a.m.
Okay.
because she's like, no, I need to like finish what we started because things were about to get like hot and heavy in the sauna, but they got interrupted and like he kind of like ran off and like, I know, I was like, please just let it happen.
Jessie, come on, man.
Uh-huh. So she's obviously still awake at 3 a.m. or like hot and bothered, sexually restless. Bangs on his door across the hallway like, we have to finish what we started. And he's clearly still awake as well. And then we basically get like 24 hours of like sex fest between them. But it was like nobody else at the convention realizes they're together. And every now and then like someone will like knock on his door. It's like, hey, yeah, you know, we're actually leaving tomorrow. Like the roads are clear now. By the way, have you seen Viola? Like, and she's like hiding. She's like hiding under the covers. It's so innocent. Like,
I love that.
The whole story is just cozy and heartwarming, and it's a really nice palate cleanser of a romance. And like at the very end, I gotta say as well, she goes to like ask for his number, and he writes down his address instead. He's just like, I don't want you to leave me now. I've got to have you close by.
Good. So we fucking should 5 years. What the fuck?
But yeah, so overall, I loved the story. It was so sweet. Perfect. Like I said, I gave it 4 stars overall and like a level 3 for kind of your spice. The issues I had though is I think with Spotify that were just like, here is Ali Hazelwood's audiobook exclusive, and they just give us a solo narrator. They couldn't have even given like a male narrator to do Jessie's voices or maybe like a full cast. Like if you're going to be advertising a audio exclusive book, give us more than just a solo narrator.
That's disappointing.
Yeah, I won't deny the narrator did an absolutely fantastic job though. Like she did the voice as well for all the characters and everything like that. I think like I just had higher expectations for an audiobook exclusive. Like maybe give me a little bit of some audio effects, you know?
Yeah.
But
at least like, duet, no narration.
Exactly, that's the word I was looking for. At least make it a duet, maybe have thrown in like some audio effects, but no, it was literally just a single narrator. And now it's like stuck as being an audiobook when it just had the potential to be so much more when it came to like the audio quality.
That's really disappointing.
Yeah.
I was like, I'm sold. And then you said that and now I'm like, oh. I'll probably still listen to it.
Yeah, like, okay, don't get me wrong. It was still a really good audiobook to listen to. Still a good story. Like I said, I gave it 4 out of 5. But I just think in the way that it was hyped up as an audio exclusive, I think I wanted more out of that audio.
No, that's completely fair because that's what I was expecting.
Yeah.
Like, I was expecting at least a duet narration.
Yes.
Bare minimum.
Duet as a minimum, full cast as maybe like max, graphic as like
I
cherry on top.
understand, like, it's so expensive to do audiobooks. And even just like a duet narration can be like ridiculous. So like, I would have settled for that. I feel like if it's going to be a Spotify exclusive, like, Spotify's got the money.
Give us the duet.
Like,
yeah, and if you're going to hold this audiobook at ransom, give us more than just the solo narrator. So that's my biggest thing.
That really sucks.
But in saying that, if you're looking for, I guess, a cozy romance, I feel like because of the snow, it gave me real Christmas vibes, but it wasn't Christmas. Yeah, cozy romance, nerds in love, short story. I highly recommend Two Can Play by Ali Hazelwood.
Cute.
Until next week.
Happy reading.
Bye.
Bye.